Hey guys, welcome back to Building Built Right. Matt here. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. I'm going to warn you because Max and I were in Detroit last week, just about the entire week, for some SEMA events. But we thought we would actually use this episode to spread some awareness on all that SEMA does for the industry and how small businesses and employees of those businesses like ourselves can get involved. So we're going to give you a little bit of an insight there. Back at the shop here, Matty was able to cut some final prototypes for a new GM product. So we'll give you a peek at that as well. So let's get to it. All right, so if you've been into cars and trucks, you've probably heard of the SEMA show with respect to SEMA, and so a lot of people think that that's what SEMA is the SEMA show every year in Las Vegas. Of course, that is kind of the main event, but SEMA actually is a trade association. So SEMA stands for Specialty Equipment Market Association, and what they do is they work for member companies that pay to be members of SEMA, to create resources for those companies to help them succeed. So those resources might be legal advice, connecting you with attorneys. It might be connecting you with OEMs to receive CAD data. Where Max and I were was actually just in Detroit. So there's a brand new SEMA Garage in Detroit. What they do at the garage is they help companies develop their products using equipment that a small business like ours, for example, may not be able to afford. So they have high-end 3D scanning services, lifts and tool sets. They have an alignment rack. But not only that, they have the same equipment that the EPA, that CARB uses to certify aftermarket products for emission standards.
Here, this is the latest, greatest equipment, same as CARB and the EPA uses. Literally, this bench is almost the bench and the layout of our cells is almost exact replica of CARB in California.
They have that equipment. So a company like ours, if we were to develop, say, an exhaust system, we could go to SEMA and have that tested in order to receive a CARB EO, so that part is technically compliant. So in addition to the emissions, they also have an ADAS lab, which is maybe more applicable to our business, potentially. So your bumper might have 5 sensors in it, proximity sensors, or your windshield might have a camera that's reading the road. And when you lift a vehicle or you change the bumper or you do anything like that, you're impacting those sensors. And so SEMA has a lab that can help you recalibrate the car or the truck in order to offset for those different changes. And so this is something that SEMA believes, and I happen to agree, is going to become a really big issue as we are modifying the outside, the exterior, or the suspension of these vehicles that are becoming more and more technologically advanced. All right, so I got a little excited there talking about the SEMA and the SEMA Garage because we just spent a week there and have a new appreciation, as always, for everything that they do for companies like ours. But the real reason we were there is on Wednesday, I'm a part of a small leadership group for a kind of a sub-network of SEMA called FLN. That's the Future Leaders Network. So what we do is we try to create resources and create networking events for young professionals in the industry. So if that's you, you may want to get in touch with me. I'd be happy to get you set up there. We'd happy to be If that sounds like you, please get in touch with me or FLN through our website. We'd be happy to get you involved. So we'd have the leadership meeting on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, Friday was really the main event for us, and that was our professional development program. So we worked with Dale Carnegie to create a 2-day professional training development program that's going to help young professionals in our industry build the skill sets that they need to communicate really well as they're growing in their careers. So we brought 25 people in from all over the country to participate in a 2-day training seminar with Dale Carnegie coach Brett Campbell. So it was a really intensive 2-day training where we got to know a lot about a lot of other people in the industry, meet some other young professionals that will certainly be people we'll be crossing paths with hopefully for the next 40 years. All right, so I am fully aware of the fact that this sounds like a sales pitch for SEMA. I am not at all intending to do that, but in the spirit of sharing with you our Built Right journey, SEMA has played a major part in that. So my experience has been that in addition to these meetings and the trainings and the more kind of regimented or scheduled things, the real value for me has been being able to go to a place like the SEMA Garage, sit down with 20, 30, 40 other young professionals that are tackling the same problems that we have on a day-to-day basis, and talk through those and build some camaraderie. And so that's been a really, really valuable part of participating in SEMA for us. So while Max and I were in Detroit burning the candle at both ends, it was business as usual here at the shop. We were, of course, still processing orders, providing customer service, and Matty and engineering did manage to get a final prototype set of our GM HD panels put together. So take a look.
So we're back at the plasma table. The guys are in Detroit at SEMA Garage. I am here cutting the final prototypes for the HD GM panels. These are going to get used as final test fits. We already know that they work, but one more time won't hurt. They're going to be getting used in some marketing material and more than anything like final gut check. So going to jump into it here, get cut. Alright, so the HDGM panels are done on the plasma table. I'm going to finish getting these all done up so we can send them off to our powder coater, come back from powder coat, and Max and Leah will be able to shoot through some of their marketing content with these. I'll be able to test fit them on a different truck, like to test fit on 2 different trucks just to confirm fitment. And yeah, that's about it from me. Going to send you guys back to the guys over in Detroit.
All right, so like I warned you, a little bit of a shorter video this week. Also a little bit different content than we normally share. You know, participating in the industry is a big part of what we've done to build Built Right. So it feels appropriate to share that with you. But if you're interested in more of that, would love to see it in the comments and we can continue to lead into that a little bit more. So that's all we've got for you this week. Next week, I think we're gonna go back and revisit setting up a friend of ours' truck for towing his drift car around. That's Grant. We did a video on that like maybe a year ago, and we'll be revisiting that. So check it out on Monday.